Nuclear missile ready. Nuclear missile ready. Nuclear missile ready. Nuclear missile ready.
looks like we're remaking. It all works out.
All right. Hello, guys. Hope you guys are having a great day so far. We welcome you to the clan war between Alpha X and Team G. I'm your caster Snoopy, and joining by my side is Salamand.
How is everyone going? Came into this basically last minute, but I am looking forward to it. There's quite a few good games coming around here.
Yeah, hopefully.
It's like we're breaking GG versus GoGo Joey first. So do we have an order for these matches?
Yeah, we do. We have Australia versus. Oh wait, I guess they're starting with a different.
Yeah, because I was
set.
going to say I thought Australia versus Bomber was first, but here we go.
Yeah, I guess maybe they didn't arrive or something. So maybe they're probably gonna start with a different set.
Alrighty.
Oh, okay. So it says I just got updated. Sushi says breaking GG versus GoGo Joey is first because GoGo Joey has to go soon. So I guess the time.
Alright. And then I assume we'll continue with our order as normal. So Australia versus Bomber will be coming in second.
Yeah,
it's interesting. Apparently in Korea they suffer the same server problems that I'm used to frequently.
Yeah. I mean, 10 years into StarCraft, you'd think they'll have it down by now, right?
You'd think so. It's a small indie company. The technology's just not there yet. Etc. etc. Now, I'm just glad that they're continuing to pump money into professional StarCraft to keeping the pro scene alive. That is still StarCraft 2 is a pretty old game. We used to Brood War, it doesn't seem that old to us, but pretty much everywhere else. How long old is it? Nearly 10 years. Like I said, that's ancient.
Yeah.
No one would be playing it anymore.
Yeah,
I didn't see anyone playing Call of Duty from 10 years ago.
Yep. It's definitely one of the kind of the more OG esports games.
No, we're joining a new lobby. That's a shame. I thought we were going to start things off with an exhibition match. Since we were the only two in the lobby. How before the NFL they always show two dads playing touch football in their front yards to psych up the crowd.
The hype match.
Exactly. They make everyone else seem better by comparison. That's why all the Olympics should have one average person in them. Imagine how much more entertaining it would be to see how fast the 400-meter people are when you're watching this person who's runs every Saturday just trying to keep up with them.
Yeah.
They're gonna run in one of the park runs when they get around to it one of these days. They run once or twice a week, and you put it up against these elite athletes, and you can see how fast they really are.
That'll definitely be
interesting. Combat sports, then that would just be sad. You would want to show an exhibition match of an Olympic boxer against some guy who's going to a class for 6 months. That would just be mean.
All right, looks like we're getting the lobby set up, guys. If you guys don't know the format, this let me go ahead and explain. So this is a kind of an overall best of 5. Each set we're gonna have a best of 3 though. So we currently have 4 sets lined up, and if it's tied to 2 at the end of the 4th game, then we will have a set. And then also each set, whoever wins each set goes to $30 to their team. So I think everyone would definitely want to win the set, get their team some money. And it looks like Internal Empire will be the first map of choice here.
Alright, so if I'm understanding correctly, that means 2-0 versus 2-1 doesn't actually matter. It's all about winning the best of 3 in order to get that point and that $30 for your team.
Yep.
Alright, the winner will get $90 and the loser will get somewhere between 0 and 60.
That's correct. And if you guys can go ahead and go over to the Matcherino page. We do have a Matcherino set up. We actually have 2 Matcherino pages. If you type in !Matcherino into the Twitch chat, it shall bring up the code as well as the link. And also Nightbot is going to automatically post it as well.
I'm glad we're running this. We need more pro leagues.
Definitely.
All right. In the bottom left, representing Clan GP, it is Go-Go Joey.
And spawning at the top right, we have our Tio Zerg from Alpha X. It is Breaking GG.
Now, GP, I'm just trying to remember what that stands for.
I don't think it stands for anything, or at least I don't know if it stands for anything. Just says Team GP in the Wikipedia page, so yeah.
Oh, there you go. It is just Team GP then.
Yep.
I don't know, I was kind of hoping it would be something like badass named like Golden Phoenix or something like that. But GP is good too.
It says, okay, so I was just told it stands for Gon Pack.
Gon Pack?
Yeah, Gon and then Pack.
Ah, right.
Never heard of it, but we'll just oh, it's a Korean company. All right, cool.
Yeah, I was thinking it was probably a word in either Chinese or Korean. I wasn't sure which, but yeah, given the sound of the name and given the roster, it definitely does sound more Korean than that. Alright, so both sides are just sending their first couple overlords across the map, just going for a 16 hatch, not getting any early scouting off, which is fine because both of them are going for pretty much identical macro-based builds. Both of them wanting to start this one off a little bit slowly, although given ZVZ, even this very macro opening can get very aggressive very fast. It's a game that can often be extreme one way or the other, with both sides going up to like 60 drones 5 minutes in, or both sides just going for mass link ban and trying to kill each other. And we'll have to see which one we're going to get here. But while we wait to find out, how have you been handling isolation, Snoopy?
You know what? It's been pretty okay for me. I mean, I'm usually more of an indoor guys anyway, so it's like not too much of a change. And you know, there's a lot of this like TV shows or movies that you can catch up on or stuff like that. How about you?
That good. Yeah, pretty good. Like you said, it's like what have you been doing lately? So I've just been staying at home, enjoying some Netflix and such. It's like, oh, except the quarantine. The what?
Nice.
Avoid large crowds is already the name of my autobiography. It hasn't been a ton of changes.
Yeah. Yeah.
So Breaking GG will send a couple of links across the map. Though I will admit, not being able to see my partner has been very rough.
Yeah.
I'm not going to be able to see it for a few months, which is sad. Though at least in Australia here, it looks like things are starting to flatten down, although things are still not that great in the US. But hey, we're here to talk about StarCraft, not coronavirus, so maybe, I'm sure you're all very sick of hearing about it. So we do see a Baneling Nest coming out for Breaking GG, which is interesting. Either he wants to get very defensive or he wants to get very aggressive. I think aggression is going to be the name of the game out of that Baneling Nest because he hasn't really seen anything that would indicate the need for defensive Baneling Nest. And he got a good scout. Actually, did he really get a good scout? He got a bit of a scout, and he scouts a bit more now. But overall, the Queen has fended off these Lings pretty nicely. You will see there's no fast speed or anything like that. There are going to be a bunch of Lings coming out for Go-Go Joey going straight into the Roach Warren, though. So we'll see what both sides can get done with that. I think that Breaking GG might be forced on the defensive, but with his Baneling Nest, he's going to be completely fine. But Go-Go Joey going to these Roaches means that if Breaking GG is put on the defensive, that's actually going to be really good for Go-Go Joey because he can get up into that superior tech unmolested. And at this third base, it's actually taking a lot of damage. The Banelings are not yet done. It's nearly in the red. I think it might get fended off, but this could open up something later. Actually, he's really going for this. He's splitting up his Zerglings. He's trying to get it. He's very close. Actually, I think he might just get it. Oh my god. And Breaking GG just saves it in time. Puts a transfuse on that. That is wise. That is definitely going to probably be a target for Go-Go Joey later on. In the meantime, Go-Go Joey does get the full scout. He's going for 11 Roaches. He's staying on 26 Workers. I think he's just going to go straight for this third base. And with 11 Roaches on the way, I don't see how Breaking GG is going to hold that with just Lings and Banes. And he's continuing to drone up as well. But he's going for a counterattack, so maybe he'll be able to see these Roaches moving out and backstab. We'll have to find out. As he's going for the third base himself, but there will be a bunch of Roaches to defend. But oh my god, those slow Roaches. Look at how slowly they move on that creep. Without that creep.
Yeah, the creep has not yet been connected to the dirt base, but it looks like Go-Go Joey is doing quite fine as he has a significant amount of Roaches there to protect his bases.
But the thing is, he's down like 8 workers. He kind of needs to make something happen. He's droning up. He's continuing to drone up again, but this investment in Roaches is like an almost all-in level of roaches, but he hasn't actually been able to do any damage with them. So he really needs to get some damage. Oh, but he's going for the third base. The third base is that's just beautiful moves by Breaking GG. He's got those overlords in position. He knows that this is a very tempting target for Go-Go Joey. Go-Go Joey really, really wants that base. In the meantime, there's a bunch of lings outside the third base of Go-Go Joey ready to backstab if he tries to move out with the slow Roach army. Breaking GG playing this pretty well, and he's got a bit of an advantage as a result. But Go-Go Joey is getting the +1 carapace, so he does have an advantage on the tech slightly, and we'll have to see when both sides move up their layers.
Oh, I think, yeah, Go-Go Joey has seen the move out, and we'll go in for the third
Oh, he
base.
goes for the third base, and he gets it! Oh, he wanted that so badly. Now he does have it. And now all of a sudden those extra drones don't really matter. But now there's a big Ling Bane attack coming. But I just don't know how much that's going to do. Oh, the roaches are all clumped up. And they get destroyed by these Banelings. And now all of a sudden these Lings are doing what they can. The roaches are in good positions. But it just doesn't matter. They might just be too many Lings. It's amazing to think that Banelings can beat roaches, but actually in numbers like that, they very much can. And the rest of Go-Go Joey's army just is not there to defend it. And the roaches are getting overwhelmed. They're trying to defend, but they're getting surrounded. And now the queens are as well. And all of a sudden, Breaking GG in a dominating position. He's just sending more and more Zerglings. He's making some Banelings. The roaches are on the way, and the roaches will overwhelm the Zerglings in time. But time is the key thing. Breaking GG is up 15 supply. He's going to get the third base himself. Go-Go Joey's not going to have that time. I think he might save his natural, but he's definitely going to lose this third base. And anything building at it. What a bloodbath of a game we're seeing in Game 1.
Yeah, we're back and forth, and in the meantime, Breaking GG is taking his third while this attack is still commencing, and more Banelings morphing in. Can he get more damage done here at the natural base?
Oh, well, he's going to try and connect with the Lings, and he does. The roaches are hold positioning on the ramp, but a lot of drones are going to go down to these Zerglings. I think the roaches might just hold the line, but we'll have to see. They're actually so low. They are trying to push in. The roaches are doing their very best, but they will get sniped one by one, and now all of a sudden double the supply for Breaking GG. I think this is the end of the line for Go-Go Joey, and he agrees too. GG is called, and Alpha X takes game number 1.
Wow, that's a great play there by our Zerg from Alpha X, and that will be 1-0 for Breaking GG. But of course, this is a best of 3, so we'll see if Go-Go Joey can go ahead and type the series.
Yeah, definitely. Great plays on both sides, really. I mean, I thought Go-Go Joey's position was great. He took out 30 at 11 roaches. If he managed to split those a little bit faster, those roaches against the Banelings, he would have been okay. But I mean, I can't really blame him. You know, you've got 11 roaches against Ling Bane. You think you're going to be okay, but those Banelings, they got just right into those roaches, and they do a surprising amount of damage when you have a whole bunch of them blow up on the roaches at once.
Yeah, maybe even throwing down maybe a single spine crawler would have even helped as well. But unfortunately for him, he moved out his roaches. His roaches got clumped up a little bit, and then the Banelings did a lot of splash damage. And with the massive amount of Lings streaming in across the map, it was just too much for Go-Go Joey. But here we go, game number 2 on Purity and Industry LE.
Indeed. It's such an interesting map, Purity and Industry. Both just the overall aesthetic. I love the asynchronous aesthetic, even though it is symmetrical in terms of mechanics, but also just the close distance by air, the inhibitor zones, the island base. It's just such an interesting map overall. Alright, in the upper left, narrowly winning game number 1 with a timing attack. Can he do it again? It is Breaking GG, who is going for 12.
And spawning at the 3 o'clock position is the red Zerg from Team GP. It is Go-Go Joey.
Now, the interesting thing with Breaking GG is I think he did this spur of the moment, because he actually built a drone and then cancelled it.
Oh. Well, he's definitely not going for gas, so it's definitely not anything too all-in.
Yep, he's going up against Hatch first, so he's got a good chance. As you've pointed out, the 12 pool without gas is actually not that all-in. The idea is to just make 6 Lings, deny the hatchery or deny drones for a long time, force a defense out of the opponent while you make a slightly... Is he building a spore crawler?
What?
I think he's gonna try and get the Overlord while it can't run away because of the inhibitor zone. But this is one of the craziest things I've ever seen.
Yeah, what is this? A random spore crawler, huh?
Yeah, that's exactly what he's gonna do. He knows that the Overlord's gonna go straight over the main because what could you possibly have that would stop the Overlord at this point in time?
Oh my god.
This is the last thing he's expecting, and this inhibitor zone is gonna get in the Overlord's way. He's actually going to kill that Overlord for a Spore Crawler, and that's going to totally throw off Gogo Joey's build, and Gogo Joey can't build any Zerglings until he gets another Overlord.
What?
That's the plan.
So genius.
He can't build anything. He's going to lose that natural.
Oh my god, I have never seen this in my life.
And I don't think we ever will again. And he's pulling almost every drone he has to try and defend against this.
This is madness. Can he hold this? This is a total of, let's see, how many Zerglings does he have? 12 Zerglings total.
He's setting more across the map, but he has 8 right now. He hasn't killed any drones yet. Good at micro from Gogo Joey. Only the first one only just goes down now, but now there's so many there's just so many links for Breaking GG. But again, it is 1 base against 2. He does have the worker advantage. I don't know if this is better for Breaking GG or not. I think Gogo Joey just has a bit of an edge here. That was the strangest opening I've ever seen.
I know. You think you've seen it
That
all, but
is amazing.
man, that is crazy.
I'm wondering if that would have even worked without the inhibitors. I mean, I guess it only works on this map because the Overlord can go from main to main so fast. Normally you send it straight to the natural, and then you've got a like a high ground thing that you can block it off. And it's only on this map that strategy would work.
Yeah, and also like you never see this, or you never ever see this. So who would expect a Spore Crawler in at that time, that early timing of the game? So yeah, I think this might be something we might even see more of as more people start getting some ideas. Although,
and now he's using the Spore Crawler to scout his opponent's base.
wait, where's that Spore Crawler?
He's using it to scout the opponent. It just got killed off at Gogo Joey's natural.
Ah, missed that just barely.
He thought, what else am I going to use it for? And he saw a bunch of links, so now he's building a Spine Crawler. So the scout worked. Spore Crawler killing an Overlord into a scouting Spore Crawler. Is this a new meta? This is what happens when you've got nothing to do all day except think of new builds.
It's like the new meta.
If this is a new meta on Purity Industry, that would be so funny. Then people would just send their Overlords just to the very edge and creep.
Alright, we see the speed 4 Gogo Joey has finished. We'll get into the main base. Some nice drone Michael has yet to lose. Okay, it does lose 1. Although
lots of lost mining time for Breaking GG though. He does have the worker advantage, but not by much, and that lead is basically gone away. But the game is pretty much evened out overall at this point. Fast Evo Chamber for Breaking GG though. He is getting a Roach Warren now, and I wouldn't be surprised to see a +1 Missile or a +1 Carapace coming up fairly soon. Roach Warren and Evo Chamber now coming up for Gogo Joey, but he also takes a 3rd as well. So overall, Gogo Joey basically trying to have his cake and eat it too, and it just might work. Since he will be taking a 3rd as well as sort of hungering up on 2 bases, but since Breaking GG is not really in a position to attack anytime soon, it just might pan out. But he sees the natural, he sees no lair yet, unless it's at the main. He sees the 2 gases only just now forming. Breaking GG gets not a full scout, but a decent scout, and he completely walls himself off to ward off any potential link floods. But there's not a link flood, more like just a link trickle coming out from Gogo Joey to see if he can get anything done, but he probably will not, unless these queens do not get into position, and he just decides to back. Actually, I think that's a type wall off.
Yep.
That is actually a type wall off. He's going to have to cancel that, and he does. And now walls up with his queens instead. Oh, but the lings actually do slip in, but he now sees the roaches. So Gogo Joey once again gets a full scout, doing so well this game with his scouting. We'll see the faster lair from Breaking GG as well. Gogo Joey does get a ling into the main, not enough to do to make 2 Banelings and try and blow up some drones, but enough to get another scout on this later on. As Breaking GG only just now tries to take his 3rd, taking a much more aggressively postured 3rd compared to Gogo Joey.
Yeah, and I do actually like this decision by Breaking GG to go for this lower 3rd base, because he does recognize that Gogo Joey does have the link speed. So if he does take the 1 at, let's say, the top right or the top left, excuse me, then that means his roaches will have to bounce back and forth, and it's much easier if your third base, if you're going for roaches, to go expand near towards your opponent.
He was making a Nidus network, but then he cancelled it. I don't know what's going on in this game. Also, there's a queen just slowly attacking the natural, but it stops now. Okay, he's going for a Spire. He was going to go for a Nidus, but then he changed it up and decided to go for a Spire instead. But he's down 10 workers, so whatever he does, he needs to get some damage done. I quite like the idea of throwing out the Nidus network, considering how he was, in fact, behind, but maybe he thought he wouldn't be able to get it up on this particular map, and decides to go for the Mutalisks instead. But either way, he definitely needs to get a lot of economic damage done, and he needs to get it done fairly soon, as the Overseer sees what it can scout. And will it see the Spire? That is the question. It is going to get very close, but he doesn't see it.
Oh, well, his Lings does go. Okay, there, he finally does see it.
Yep, a Changeling sees the Spire. It is almost done though, but he doesn't actually have a lot of gas for an explosion of mutas. I guess he's hoping his opponent will overreact to this threat, and he's only going to build like 4 or so of them.
Well, he's Go-Go Joey has decided to go move out before that Spire is done. But there is a Spine Crawler at this dirt, so we'll see if he can break this.
I don't think so, and Go-Go Joey is expecting like a flood of like 10 mutas to be being made, which is going to mean that Go-Go Joey just doesn't have enough units. But in fact, he's only invested a small amount in this. He has plenty of units to defend. Go-Go Joey is the one with the economic advantage. And Go-Go Joey is going for 2 Spires himself.
Yeah, next thing you know, we'll have 3 Spires going down.
These were both at almost exactly the same time. This cannot be a mistake. He's going to try and contest the Mutalisks in the air with his own Mutalisks and catch up with double air upgrades. This is the weirdest game of ZVZ I may have ever seen.
This has definitely been the weird one. But the Mutas are out. Breaking GG is starting to go ahead and snipe those Overlords across the map. Hasn't really committed too much to it, as it's just a few Mutalisks.
Yeah, which means that Go-Go Joey would have the chance to get more Mutalisks and have them better upgraded, since there are no air upgrades for Breaking GG. He's going to get a few Overlords, send that Vision back to the Stone Age. If he checks the 4th base, he'll probably get that too. Just seeing what he can do. And he will... Oh, he's going after the Queens. That's not a good idea. One of the Mutalisks is almost sniped down. The Overseer will die. And how does Go-Go Joey actually... Go-Go Joey has not actually seen... Breaking GG has seen one of the Spires, so he knows there's a Spire on the way, which tells you most of what you need to know, really. He knows that he either needs to commit to more Mutalisks or accept that he's going to lose the Mutalisk battle. Does snipe a Mutalisk, actually. Very nicely done of him. And he's decided that it looks like that Breaking GG wants to move out instead of contest in the air. Actually, he's making a Corruptor, and now he's making a few more Corruptors. So it looks like he does want to contest the air. Though, once again, there is going to be the opportunity for double air upgrades from Go-Go Joey. So in the long run, he could win in the air pretty much every time if the game goes long, because of this rather unprecedented move. And now there are more Mutalisks. Look at this, is so funny. They're moving so slowly.
Yeah. Oh man, these inhibitor zones. Jesus.
And in the meantime, pretty substantial Roach Ravager armies for both sides, though I think Breaking GG has a slightly bigger one because of the extra commitment to Mutalisks that Go-Go Joey's made. But now we have Mutas and Corruptors, and those Corruptors are actually about as fast as the Mutalisks now with the upgrades that have occurred to them over the last few years. These are not recent upgrades, but since we don't see Muta Corruptor anymore, it feels worth noting anyway, even though it's not exactly a new thing. In the meantime, we have a huge attack on the 4th base coming from Breaking GG. The army of Go-Go Joey is not prepared. If Breaking GG could just snipe this 4th base and then get out of there if he wanted to, but it looks like he is going to turn and fight a little bit, then send down some Crucibles, and then he's just going to leave, and that is an excellent play from Breaking GG. It very much makes this worth it. Hydrogen on the way for Go-Go Joey now, as despite making double Spire, I think he's decided not to contest in the air and instead go for Hydralisks instead. The good old fake double Spire play. And here comes the battle, the Mutas and Corruptors fighting against the Mutas and Roach. Muta Corruptor Roach fighting against Roach Muta. I don't really know what's going to happen. I don't think anyone does. As we're going to see this fight and see how effective the armies are against each other as the third base is under threat. Dogo Joey has no choice but to fight. He's got the queens here, but he's starting to lose supplies, but so is Breaking GG, and he actually saves his third base, and it keeps the transfusers going. These corruptors are still here, but all the mutalisks for Breaking GG are now dead. And Gogo, it is still 4 bases to 3, and Breaking GG has the economic advantage, but Gogo Joey hangs on for now, as we see a Hydrogen and an Infestation Pit, as well as +1 Flyer Carapace for Breaking GG. So he's preparing for the later stages of the game, as well as Grooved Spines begins for Gogo Joey. So both of them continuing to attack up. As we see a Roach attack from Gogo Joey will be easily fended off. This is not a choke that you can attack through pretty much ever as Gogo Joey. Meanwhile, we have the Mutas doing what they can. The Corruptors can fight back, but they are actually heading towards the 4th base again. But the Mutalisks are spotted by the Creep and by the Overlord, so the Corruptors are going to start chasing the Mutalisks. But there is going to be a lot of damage done before these Corruptors can catch up. This Queen is instantly sniped, or it could be if Gogo Joey did not have other targets on his mind, as the Corruptors are chasing as best they can. And we do see a Lurker Den. Gogo Joey will spot it. He will get a bunch more drones, and all of a sudden he's evened up the worker count. But he does see a lot. He sees the Lurker Den. He sees the Hive on the way. He sees Breaking GG is going for that extra tech. And there will be a few. That will almost be a sniper Mutalisk as the Mutalisks run away, or rather briskly jog away, thanks to the inhibitor zones. And Breaking GG is now breaking down the rocks in the middle of the base.
Oh man, we
We've
might.
seen a few Hydras get caught out of position, but actually this could be a bit of a flank for Breaking GG. There's a few the Corruptors are already here. This is again just a very weird fight overall. It is Roach Corruptor versus Roach Muta. At least this is I've only seen this once before. I think I've seen it with a game where with Cyril versus Rainer, I think, or Cyril versus somebody. And we'll see what this can get done. In theory, the Corruptors should defeat the Mutalisks, and the Roaches should be evenly matched on the ground. So this should actually be a very good fight for Breaking GG, and it looks like that's happening. All of the Mutalisks are going down. The supply is going up, is going down for Gogo Joey. He's trying to reinforce, but it's still going to take time. And in the meantime, these Roach Ravagers are destroying everything, and the Corruptors have dominance over the air, and they can start sniping down hatcheries or other buildings with their spit, and that's exactly what they're doing. They're going for the natural, and they're going to destroy it. Breaking GG wins on both fronts. He's up 60 supply. He's pushing Gogo Joey back, and I think that might just be just about all she wrote. As with a dominant army advantage in both ground and air, Breaking GG has taken out another face of Gogo Joey. Gogo Joey is going to hang in there, but I think that the next attack is probably going to finish it.
Yeah, during that fight, the Roach Warren 4, Gogo Joey did get sniped down, so all he can make is Hydros, as he has yet to even make that Roach Warren. And I think Breaking GG is slowly but surely looking to edge out in this second game.
Agreed. The Corruptors are going in for the main base. They're going to go after the lair, most likely, or even just a bunch of Overlords. Meanwhile, the army of Breaking GG just getting better and better. He's up getting +3 missile attacks. He's getting seismic spines for his lurkers, and he's starting to morph in lurkers. And once he gets in those lurkers, if he gets them in a good position, that's going to be all she wrote. And Gogo Joey can't exactly contest Breaking GG on the map to stop that, because he's down 70 supply. The lurkers may not even be necessary. They're just, looks like Gogo Joey's swan song. He's going to lose the rest of his army, and it looks like Breaking GG will take the first game of this series 2-0, and that is GG, and that is the weirdest opening, and one of the weirdest games I've ever seen. That is ingenious.
And that means that Breaking GG has taken the set, the third set at least, for Alpha X, which means Alpha X will go up 1-0 overall in this best of 5 series, and of course win $30 for Team Alpha X. But don't worry, guys, there are more sets to come. I believe the second one will be, let's see here, I believe it's Australia versus Bombers. They're going to be the next one, the next set that we're going to be able to see.
I still can't believe that. I'm going to have to check in a few hours. I bet that's on Reddit. The Spore Crawler opening.
Oh, yeah. I believe Sunlily in the chat says it was a Spanishiwa build or something. I'm not sure. Let me go.
Spanishiwa, mine. That's a blast from the past.
Yeah.
Spiniciwa most known for his gasless Queen openings back in Wings of Liberty, but I guess it looks like he also came up with the Spore Crawler idea. It makes sense. There were a lot more main-to-main, builds back then, but I don't know how effective that would have been before. Maybe it was a Heart of the Swarm build? Because remember, in Heart of the Swarm, Spore Crawler for upgraded do massive damage to biological units in order to combat the universal computer meta that started up in the early to mid Heart of the Swarm.
Mm-hmm.
And that made the Spore Crawler much more effective. And you saw how it just chunked down that Overlord. 7 shots, he's dead.
Yeah, that was that Overlord went down really quickly.
That is just... Yeah, with how fast the Spore Crawlers burrow, how slow the Overlords move, and how fast the Overlords die to Spore Crawlers, I think that would just straight up work if you tried to do that with the Overlord map. I think we might see on Purity Industry in the near future, we might just see people stop doing that with the Overlord. Look at that, it costs 50 minerals for the drone, it costs like 50, is it 50 or 75 for the Spore Crawler? It's like 75, so...
Yeah, I think 75.
But it does disrupt that early build, which is exactly what Breaking GT was hoping for. He wanted to, delay the Zerglings to defend against this 12 pool. Now, I actually think in the opening, I think he ended up very slightly behind after that opening, despite how strange it was. But it very well might have thrown Burger Jelly off. I know it would have thrown me off to lose an Overlord, my very first Overlord to a Spore Crawler.
Yeah, and it's also a little bit risky to do that because you never know if the opponent is sending their Overlord to the main base or to the natural. He was counting on him sending his Overlord to the main base, which made it work.
Yeah, I mean, it's a pretty safe bet on Purity in Industry. I mean, what's the opponent going to do about it? Until about 10 minutes ago, the answer was nothing.
Yeah.
There's nothing you can do. You won't have a Queen up in time. How can you stop the Overlord? Well, we have our answer.
All right, it looks like they're currently doing their vetoes, they're doing their vetoes, so we should get started soon underway. But before we get started, guys, remember there is a Matcherino page for these events. You can go on to the Matcherino link that is posted in the Twitch chat, as well as the code AXCOM76, and then go to the other Matcherino for the other page here for sets 3 and 4. Enter the code AXCOM77, and that will donate 50 cents to the prize pool for free. You don't have to give any money out of pocket. But if you do, we'll definitely shout you out later on. Just head on over there.
Snoopy game's about to start. Well,
what happened?
It should be started, but yeah, you need to get that.
Oh. All right.
There we go.
Looks like we are starting on Internal Empire once again.
Indeed, we are. Very popular map. Pretty standardish. Australia versus Bomber. This will be interesting. Can you imagine what that must be like for Australia? He grew up watching people like Bomber, never playing against him.
I know, right? I mean, you were mentioning a blast from the past with Spiniciwa. Bomber is also one of those guys that is kind of a blast from the past.
Remember Bomber versus Scarlet in the I think it was one of the Red Bull Battlegrounds. We'll talk about it later. In the top right, representing Alpha X and representing Protoss, looking for a second win for his team is Australia.
And spawning at the bottom left, we have our Red Terran player from Team GP. It is Bomber.
Do you remember Bomber versus Scarlet from Red Bull Battlegrounds?
Oh yeah, that was probably the most infamous Scarlet play of all time, arguably.
Yeah, that may very well be the greatest StarCraft 2 game in history.
Oh well, that could be debatable. I mean that I remember I think it was back in the day. I forgot. I think it was MVP versus someone with the Mothership core.
Squirtle?
Yeah, Squirtle, yeah.
MVP versus Squirtle game 6 with Mothership Toilet. Now it was ended 4-3 to MVP with the proxy Rex in game 7.
Yeah, that one. I mean, that's still.
That was pretty crazy too.
Yeah. But yeah, he's one of the OGs. I mean, he was kind of one of the go-to or most popular Terran players in Wings of Liberty and Heart of the Swarm. Unfortunately, he had to go to the military, so he had to take a few years off. But he is back in Legacy of the Void, looking to reclaim his past self.
It's really great to see people, those players like that, trying that. Parting has seemed to have the most success so far, but we do have people like Tasia, people like DRG, people like Bomber, all trying to come back and make their fortune. Quite a lot of them made this season to round of 32 as well.
Yeah, it's really great to see DRG, Bomber, Tasia, all the really old school players trying to kind of get back into their old shape, old self, and get some tournament wins.
Both Bomber and Super in this particular series.
Yep.
Super didn't quite have the notoriety of Bomber, but he was certainly, quite a good player. And we have a Stargate on the way from Australia as his tech of choice, while Bomber returns just going into the factory. We'll see what he wants to do out of that. It looks like he might be putting a reactor on that, so he might be going for a Hellion opening. As we do see a Starport. So I wouldn't be surprised to see a Hellion drop coming out of him, or perhaps Hellions in the natural and a Liberator in the main. And he will be throwing down those first two Hellions, indeed, and getting a tech level to barracks. So a fairly standard opening, pretty harassed focus, but certainly very much within the standard Terran playbook thus far, as the Oracle is also very much within the standard Protoss playbook. And we'll see what this Reaper can get done. The Adept is not in position to stop this, so this might actually get some damage done as well. Oh, he gets the Reaper!
Oh, wow.
I swear, you're not supposed to get away with that. I get annoyed when I lose a probe to that, my scouting probe to that in Masters 3. I can't imagine what Bomber's feeling right now. Lol, congrats.
Yeah. That's not a mismicro that you regularly see from pro players like these.
Indeed, and we are going to have Hellion Banshee as the tech of choice from Bomber. That's a bit interesting. That's pretty old school, which makes sense for a player like this. He's got some, builds that you don't normally expect to see at this level, in this day and age, in 2020 at the pro level. And it might just surprise Australia, but Australia does have a couple of Adepts in that wall, but he will need to prepare to wall off because 4 Hellions are going to kill Adepts real fast. Look at that. It's already half dead. Oh, one more volley, it's going to go down, and here we go. Even the micro on those Hellions is beautiful, but he just blocks them off in time. And we do have an Oracle, and that's going to snipe those 2 wounded Hellions like that. Kaboom! And he may even get a third one, and just good opening, but good defense from Australia. He's now up 10 workers. He's doing quite well, but we'll have to see if this Banshee can get stuff done. There's only an Oracle for detection. It does have enough for 1 detection, but not a second one. So I guess Australia is definitely going to have to make another Oracle after this. But he's sending the Oracle across the map, and that's not where you want your Oracle to be when the time comes. He's going to have to recall that. He has just enough energy at the natural to recall that Oracle in order to block it off. But he hasn't revealed the cloak now, and now he does. He's going to have to bring that Oracle back. He's not recalling it. He's trying to pull it back the long way, but that's going to lose so many probes for Australia while this is going on. Oh my goodness, 7 probes, 8, and here comes the detection, and the Banshee even gets away.
Wow.
8 probes for 0 Banshees is a pretty good trade.
Yep, I'll take that any day of the week.
Oh yeah. Well, I wouldn't, but that's because I'm a Protoss player. As Terran, absolutely. So Bomber got a very good advantage from his opening. He's taking his 3rd command center at a good time. He's taking Stim. He's getting the more Raxus. He's preparing for a bio game. And he definitely has a bit of an edge over Australia right now. As Australia is also forced to keep his Oracles at home to defend against the threat of the Banshees.
Yeah, so he
Still no Robo from Australia.
Yeah, he's gonna have to rely on these Stargate, these Oracles and Phoenixes.
Yeah, but I like that he's getting a Phoenix, because if he has just 1 Phoenix, then as soon as he tags those Banshees, he can just chase them down. But the Banshees are in the 3rd base, and Australia is out of position and will once again lose so many workers. He's lost 5 so far, and shield batteries don't care if you one-shot probes. Oh my goodness, this is just absolutely devastating for Australia. There's 14 kills on one of these, 16 kills on one of these Banshees, so that's 20 probes lost or something. 22 workers killed for Bomber this game compared to 0 from Australia. And all of a sudden, Bomber is in an absolutely dominating lead. Australia has to do something with these units if he wants to stay in this game.
Yeah, I mean, he does have Blink on his Stalkers, but I don't think he's moving out with his Stalkers anytime soon. And it looks like, yeah, Bomber is going to go ahead and start establishing his third base. He is already up 3 workers, and I expect he's going to grow his worker lead as the time goes on.
Yeah, and you definitely do not want to be behind in workers as a Protoss. Terran definitely has the efficiency of units going. It seems weird for Terran to have that since it was the opposite for so much of Wings and Heart of the Swarm, but with the siege units that Terran has, generally Protoss needs to outgrow the Terran in order to win. But Australia is doing what he does best and taking a ridiculously early 4th base to try and catch up.
Yeah, I'm not sure if this is gonna... I mean, he is adding 5 gateways, so he's gonna rely on the mass gateway kind of units, but I mean, his upgrade, I don't think is significantly ahead. I mean, he does have a +1 advantage, so that's not too bad, but I think Bomber will have his upgrades finishing pretty soon as well. I'm thinking maybe... Do you think Australia should go for like something like a disruptor to kind of offset the economic deficit that he had suffered early on?
Certainly might be a good idea, but Australia's general, like, the way he plays this matchup, really, yeah, this matchup is to just take a ton of bases. It looks like he already wants to take a 5th base pretty quickly too. But in the meantime, there is a Doom drop coming out from Bomber. 3 medivacs full of Marines and Marauders. And Australia has nothing in place to defend against this. No vision and no units.
Yeah, no cannons as well. This might be really, really bad.
He is sending 4 Stalkers to the natural now as a drop defense. But 4 Stalkers is not going to stop this many medivacs. He does have a Phoenix as well, so if that Phoenix actually were to catch those medivacs, that would be huge. But it's going to patrol at the natural grid. It doesn't actually spot them just yet. So we'll have to see what happens. Meantime, Australia is going for an attack. He has caught up economically, but Bomber has like 30 more army supplies, so I don't think this is going to actually work as an assault. Where is Bomber's actual army? His army is kind of pretty scattered across the map with these drops and things like that. And now Bomber's going to go for it. He's going to go for the drop in the natural. He sees the Stalkers and he actually decides to back away. Good Phoenix from Australia. Good placement. And there's actually 5 medivacs here. So we are going to see this Oracle tag that army, which is very useful as the units come back for Australia. But, well, I was going to say, Bomber with a huge supply lead, but suddenly that supply lead gets halved in a matter of seconds as 12 Zealots warp into the 4th base for Australia.
These the Zealot actually has a watchtower on the other side and the Observer as well. Can't just move out.
200 finishing, and this is going to be a flanking maneuver from Australia. But in the meantime, there's still a bunch of units at that near the natural, and there's only like 4 Stalkers to defend against it, and a couple Oracles. But Australia is chasing down these units, killing a bunch of them. But in the meantime, it's like, where's the rest of the army? Oh, good, Stasis Ward will block away a lot of that, and Australia is managing to play his way out of a position that very much looked very, very bad for him. And I wouldn't say he's, ahead, but he's certainly a hell of a lot less behind than he was a few minutes ago. And he's going to attack this army, but then thinks better of it as the Stasis Ward finishes, trying to attack it while it's still half stasis. And this time he does see the Stasis Wards, he does scan in advance, will take out a lot of these charge lots. There is a Colossus here, it will be hopefully defend. Oh, and beautiful Stasis Ward again. Bomber gets a bit greedy, charges in, forgets about the Stasis Ward that's in there, and the Terran actually force fields off his own units from the fight, as we do see the rest of Australia's army coming back. I'd actually like to see the rest of that army coming back, not to the front, but from behind to attack. But Bomber is trying to break through. These Colossi are basically untouched, doing very well. There's a battle on 2 fronts. Australia is winning on one front, but the other front is still somewhat to be determined. But it looks like Australia is holding this on both sides. He's losing a lot of probes, but he is going to defend against this and take out a couple of medivacs, though not the full ones. And overall, I'd say this is a pretty decent fight for Australia.
Yeah, that was definitely more efficient for Australia, and all of a sudden, he's
and another Doom drop attempted, but Bomber with those moves are so good. He is actually trying to fake out his opponent while his opponent can see the medivacs, and it almost worked too. Bomber with the movement, and here he comes. Actually, he's going to go for it anyway, despite the fact that he can be seen. And then he's backing away. Oh man, Bomber's just doing so well with these medivacs. He's like, I didn't know you could be tricky with medivacs that your opponent could actually see, but he's doing it. And in the meantime, we have 6 Dark Templars 7 Dark Templars on the way to the natural for Australia.
Oh, there's not actually no. Oh wait, there's actually a turret in the back, but there's no way back.
Yeah, but it's the turrets have blink as well. The DTs have blink as well. The turrets do not have blink. Not yet. Blizzard, please hide me. They can just blink on top of that turret and destroy it immediately. And without the ability for the turret to counter blink, they're definitely going to die. See, you need the turret blink. It's the only way to balance this game.
Oh.
Bomber's army right over an observer, but that is so many marauders that he has. And the DTs are splitting up. Some into the natural, some into the third. And that tank is just definitely going to be destroyed. In the meantime, a bunch of damage. 17 probes going down, but in the meantime, a fight at the fourth as well. The Colossi are caught almost naked. But the force fields are beautiful as well, and the Colossi are doing a good job. But there's just so many marauders here that the Colossi aren't as effective as they were supposed to be. They're kiting against the Charge Lords, and there's nothing but Colossus Sentry left. But there's just not enough army left for Bomber to defend against this. And 22 SCVs did go down to those Dark Templar as well. So big economic damage. Suddenly, Australia up 30 supply. He still needs a 5th base fairly soon, but he's doing really well, and he's getting +3 armor and +1 shields as well. And Australia, again, just keeping in this game. And now I'd say he's basically gotten his lead back. These Oracles continuing to do great things throughout this entire game. We have a bunch of Colossi for Australia, and the only real defense for Bomber is it just has a ton of Marauders as well as a few Ghosts. And we will have to see what both sides want to tech into next. 3-3 is about to be done for Bomber, and that could be a pretty dangerous thing. But we have another 7 Dark Templars on the way to the 3rd base. A good arc from Australia as he prepares to engage this army head-on. Some good EMPs go down. All of the sentries are now have no energy. More and more zealots being walked in, and we're going to see a fight at the 4th base. While at the 4th base of Bomber, a bunch of DTs are going to try and backstab. Australia loses this fight on the 4th base, but he snipes that planetary fortress in a matter of seconds as well, as he churns and fights with the Colossi. The Charge Lords are moving back and forth to try and keep the Colossi safe, but they're going to start dying one by one as the Marauders are starting to vaporize them. The supply is just about even, but at the same time, Australia is forced to back away and sacrifice his own force, but the 3rd base is destroyed for Bomber. Bomber is all in with his attack. He's down to 25 workers. Australia just has to survive. He's building disruptors. He's already got one. The first disruptor shot is the tail list, and oh my god, it destroys so much of the army. I'm getting too much. My throat's already sore in the 2nd series. More and more disruptors being created for Australia. Bomber is now down 20 supply, but he's up 30 supply in army. He has to win this fight. He has to win this game right here, right now. We'll have no economy to work with. The DTs are just destroying everything. The DTs will finally be just about cleaned up, but he's nearly out of scans. Bomber is trying desperately to micro on while the 4th base of Australia goes down, and finally all of them will be cleared up, all of the DTs. 2 of the disruptors go down, but at the same time it looks like Australia has successfully defended, or has he? He does the blink forward. Is it too aggressive? The disruptor shot doesn't connect. And the Colossi does go down. The Blink Stalkers are going to be destroyed as well. The Disruptor falls. Australia might have extended his reach just a little bit as he tries to retake a 4th base. But there's a lot of Blink Stalkers, but Blink Stalkers don't tend to do well with Marauders. But Australia just has so much stuff at this point because Bomber's on 23 workers. Mules are good, but they're not that good. The Oracle comes in to defend, and there's only like 2 Marines in this entire army, so the Oracle is actually going to take out most of them, but does get destroyed itself. The probes are being pulled off the line. This is such a difficult battle to call, but actually, oh my god, Bomber just has it. The Marauders just too good. Whoa!
What?
Oh my god!
Game.
These people are bringing it, and they are bringing it hard. I think it's fair just not have that blink near the end, blinking on top of the army. I think he might have taken that, but who can blame either player for making mistakes in an environment like that? The chaos, Australia always brings this unique flair to these kind of matches. I just love the mass DT run bys. I think they ended up costing him in the end because he just didn't have the army to fight back. But man, my God, did he lose with style? And no one can say that was not a close game, especially since it looked like Bomber just was outright going to win that game in the next couple of minutes, about 6 minutes in, and Australia somehow fought his way back.
Yeah, I gotta commend Australia. I mean, he got 20 plus probes of his probes killed early in the game. So, I mean, to see him come back and actually take the lead And he just almost had it at the end, but gotta give it to Bomber as well for pulling that off with his attack while his bases were getting ravaged by those DTs.
Yeah, he managed to defend it. He managed to clean up the DTs eventually, and still fight off Australia's army at the same time. Like that was really well done. Oh my goodness, what a game!
What a game indeed. And game number 2 will be on similar chrome. If it is anything like that first game, we are in for a treat.
Alright, in the top left, just narrowly losing a gripping game number 1. Can he avenge himself? It is Alpha X's Australia.
And spawning at the bottom right, we have our Red Terran with an impressive game 1. Can he seal the deal in game number 2? It is Bomber. Oops.
You know, let's say, you have the whole secret, you'll only need the edge. Well, I take that a step past. When I get really hyped in a game of StarCraft, I actually stand up from my chair and begin pacing back and forth while I watch. And I've been doing that for the last 5 minutes in that previous game. There it is, the secret to Stalgrad's hype right there.
Well, that game definitely deserved a standing ovation. And yeah, we'll see if Australia can do a bit more better job saving his probe this time around. And I am expecting him to actually go for the same kind of mass gateway style build, just because this map is really large, and I think having a bunch of gateways to warp in here and there will definitely serve him well.
Yep, it is. Australia's kind of how Australia likes to play. He likes to play that old school sort of swarm toss, really taking a lot of bases really fast and relying on gateway units to defend against it when he basically forces the Terran to attack into it because Protoss may take him 5 bases by the 9-minute mark. And Bomber is both sides are just going to get that expansion as normal, and we'll have to see where the game wants to go from there. So tell me, Snoopy, what have you been up to lately?
You know what? I've been just watching a lot of StarCraft here and there. I mean, I think if people remember, the GSL Super Tournament just finished. And then I think we also have a Home Story Cup that is happening right now. I think the qualifiers are, pretty much done. And then we should have our playoffs, or the group stage and then the playoffs. So looking forward to that.
The Stay-at-Home Story Cup.
Yeah, the Stay-at-Home Story Cup, yeah. All right, looks like
Meanwhile, I've just been, part of it's been working. I've also been getting back into World of Warcraft as well. We get another shot.
Oh, how's that been?
It's been pretty good. There's like an experience bonus for the next month or so while people are stuck at home, so I've been leveling up another character, leveling up a Warlock.
Oh, nice.
It's kind of class that I always wanted to learn to play. And that's been fun so far. Really sort of zoom through things, but because they've added scaling now, you don't out-level things. Like, you can get like 10 levels in one zone over the course of a couple hours, but the quests are still at the same level, so you don't have to keep moving constantly and leaving half-finished zones behind, which is nice. But we do see a proxy starport out of Bomber, so Bomber definitely wants to continue with the harassment, continue with the aggression. It's going for Hellions again, and I reckon we're going to see a Liberator out of him this time around. Yeah. Meanwhile, Australia with the same opening from game number 1, so yes, well, it will definitely have to see if he can maintain his economy better this game. If he can, I like his chances. I think if he was able to fight back that well from a losing position in the mid-game, in game 1, I think he could very well win a more even game.
Well, that's yet to be determined because there is a medevac. He's just going to ferry those Hellions into the main base.
Oh, yes.
But the Oracle does scout
he sees it.
Oh, that's a huge scout there.
The question is, did Bomber scout that he scout? I think the Bomber would have seen that he saw it. But he's still going for the medevac. The Oracle can't actually kill the medevac, so there is that. But he is going to have an eye on it, and he is going to follow it around because Oracles can kill Hellions pretty quick, but he's just going to withdraw them and then try and wait for the energy to run out. But the surprise factor is very important with this Hellion drop, so with 2 Oracles, there's really not much the Hellions can actually get done.
Yeah.
He's going to try and go for the natural, but again, he's just forced to just do the hot pickups. He might just finally get some damage done now. Only 6 probes actually go down. How is he doing this? Like, he's just going from the main to the actual. There's not really anything that can attack this medevac, and he's taking advantage of that quite well. 9 probes have got 10. 12 probes when his opponent was completely prepared for it. You just don't see this. All of the Hellions do go down, but the Medivac survives. Oh my god, Bomber, how are you so good at this game?
I mean, the only great good side for Austria is that he did not lose at least 20 plus probes. He only lost 12.
No, here comes the Liberator, there's still time.
Ah, no. And there it goes, the siege up.
Yeah, he won't lose 8 probes to this, but he will lose a few of them, definitely. He actually loses a Stalker that tries to warp in at the wrong spot, and 2 probes in total. Not terrible, but not something Australia wanted. He's definitely been slowed down a lot in this game. He's only just now going to take his 3rd base. Meanwhile, Bomber is continuing to just tech up. He's got a couple of Cyclones defending against the Oracles. He's doing really well. He's taking his 3rd base. This is looking like a kind of a twisted mirror of game number 1 so far. Bomber, so good with early game harassment. He was always pretty good with his harassment, I feel. Actually, I remember Bomber was the macro king back in his day. He could just max out, especially in TVZ, before anyone else could.
Yeah, I felt like his macro and micro both was pretty well balanced. So.
Oh yeah, he was a very good player in like multiple areas of the game. The Cyclones will take out one of the Stalkers for free, as Australia sends this starport back to where it came from. And yeah, Bomber definitely with a pretty commanding lead once again early on in this game. Blink is on the way for Australia. He's getting his double forge, but everything's a lot later than you would ideally like it to be.
Yeah, I think the last game, the good thing for Australia was that he had this dirt base before Bomber, but this time around, Bomber actually started his dirt base quicker than the Protoss. So it's got me a little bit worried for Australia's chances this game. He's still looking like he's gonna go ahead and go for the double forge, so gonna go for the same, I think mass gateway, get those upgrades on those mass gateway units to beef them up, and hopefully crawl himself back into the game.
What I find interesting about Bomber is that he never uses his huge economic advantage to just go for a 2-base all and try and crush the Terran, the Protoss. And in typical Australia style, there he goes to 6-minute 34th base to try and catch up. Yeah, he goes for the 3rd base. He tries to go later in the game. He's clearly very confident in that. And these Cyclones are not really in the right position, so these Oracles could get some damage done, but I think they're waiting for Bomber to actually move out before they do anything. Oh, nope, they are going in now. And the Cyclones are ready in position. How did he do that? How did he know? My god, it's just so good. And the Oracles now are very low on health and very low on shields. They will take out this SCV. There's a bit of a nair, and even not quite the missile turret though, and he's actually going to pay for that. Oh, but it stays alive. Ooh, you're playing with fire there.
Yeah, just barely got out of there.
And he's getting the 5 gateways now. Again, pretty late, but Bomber is not the kind to really attack until he's just about maxed out, and Australia probably knows this. So Australia is playing very greedy to try and catch up, and I approve of this idea. He's getting 7 gateways. He's getting a robo now, and he's going to go up to like probably about 80 probes, and then just try and mass warp in units to defend, kind of like a Zerg would. We'll have to see if that works out. He's got stasis wards on all the main attack paths of the map, so I like that. He's got great map vision, and it can definitely slow down any push that starts out from Bomber. So Australia will know about a push before it arrives. He will have +1/+1, and here comes the stasis, and it blocks off a lot of this army. And then he's going to be able to come in and get the Revelation in a few seconds once he has 50 energy on that Oracle. It's at like 49. And now he goes for it. Gets the Revelation, sees exactly where it's coming, and he's building a bunch of charge. Well, actually, the charge is not yet done. It's only about halfway done, so he really needs to slow this down with the Blinkstalkers and the Force Fields. Because if he tries to fight this without charge, he is definitely dead.
Well, so far, he's doing a great job delaying this attack.
Yeah, but is it going to be enough? He's still got like 30 or 40 seconds left on this charge. He has to slow this down, and he has to slow it down tremendously. Some good force fields go down. The Widowmine does get taken down in the end. And, oh, Medivac even gets sniped. Yeah, Australia's doing really well here. If he can get a few more force fields up, and he does. Oh my god, charge is so close. It's about 10 or 15 seconds away. He needs this charge so desperately. Can he get it done in time? He's chrono boosting it. Oh, he's going for some Archons, and he's going for some Zealots, and Bomber is at the door. Charge is done, but he needs these. I think he wants to wait for these Archons now. He will lose some stuff at the natural, but now these Widowmines are in position. He needs to split up really well. Oh, the splits are okay, but they're not fantastic. Bomber is up a lot of supply. The Archons are getting taken down. The tank does fall, but the charge, there's charge, but there's not a lot of charge blocks. And Bomber is sweeping through his opponent. GG is called, and Bomber, with 2 devastating early base harassments, is going to take the series 2-0 and tie it up for GP.
All right, we got ourselves a quick 2-0 in the first set. Got another quick 2-0 for the second set, which means Alpha X and Team GP are tied 1-1, each getting themselves $30 so far as we head into the third set, which will be, let's see, what was the third set here?
Sound versus Super.
Yep, Zound versus Super. So a PvP upcoming here.
I'll be back in about 2 minutes. I need to refresh my drink.
All right. While we wait for the next game to get set up, just like to remind you guys that we do have a Matcherino page set up here. Go ahead and go into the Matcherino link that is posted by Nightbot, or you can type in exclamation Matcherino into the Twitch chat. That shall bring up the link for both the set 1 and 2 Matcherino, as well as here the set 3 and 4 Matcherino. Just head on over there, contribute 50 cents for free by entering the coupon code. And if you are interested, you can go ahead and also do some of the sponsor quests to add additional funds to the prize pool. And if you like, you can get some Alpha X swag as well. All right, let's see what's going on in the Twitch chat. Looks like people, yep, we see some people rooting for Australia. Unfortunately, wasn't able to pull it out. But yeah, we do have Zound versus Super upcoming. So stay tuned for that. In the meantime, just want to give a shout out to one of our sponsors, G Fuel. They are the official esports energy drink. And if you guys don't like those sugary energy drinks, well, luckily for you, G Fuel, they don't add any sugar to their drinks. They have also a variety. One that's specifically geared towards hydration if you're thirsty. Another one for caffeine if you want a bit more caffeine. So yeah, check them out at gfuel.com.
And I am back, ready for Super versus Zound.
Alrighty. We're gonna have ourselves the first game on Similar Crumb between these two badasses. And I'm excited.
I gotta say, much as I would have liked to see Australia win, I am very glad that we will be guaranteed to at least see all 8 of our players play today, and may even get the ace match.
Oh yeah, we might even see Australia come back in the ace match. So
we might indeed. And let us see how Zound proceeds to. What else? Proceeds to do for himself. I don't know. I can't remember the word. He is a strong player, but so is Super. In the upper left, representing Alpha X, looking to bring the series to match point. A win here would be tremendous. A loss would be disastrous. It is Alpha X's Zound.
And spawning at the bottom right, we have our red Protoss from Team GP. It is Super.
Now let's remember, Zound recently, really the closest thing to this format that we have is the China Pro League. And recently, in that series, Zound took down Hurricane 2-0 in Week 1. Hurricane was a current GSL tier Protoss and probably a cut above Super. So, if this was not a fluke, Zound may have a pretty big advantage in this match. If he can take out Hurricane, I definitely see him taking out Super, and he's well acquainted with team leagues.
Yeah,
Zound scouting around, making sure there's no cheeky cannon rush. Both sides doing that, but neither side are going for the cannon rush. So we are going to have to see what happens once the Cyber Core goes down.
Yeah, there's so many variation that Protoss can open with. They can open with 2 Adepts. They can open with 2 Stalkers. They can open up with maybe a Stalker and Sentry. So definitely a lot of different ways that Protoss can open up here.
That's for sure. So, have you been working from home, Snoopy? And if so, how have you been finding it?
Yeah. Well, I've just been just chilling, relaxing, basically like everyone. I haven't really done too much. Just catching up on TV and
So
following.
You're not working from home.
Nope, not working from home.
Ah, there you go.
All right, looks like Stargate will
Anyway,
be. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah, proxy Stargate, no less.
Yeah.
Alright, 2 Adepts for Zaun, 2 Stalkers for Super. Zaun clearly wanted to go on the offensive, get some harass done, while Super probably just wants to be fairly defensive with those 2 Stalkers, and with that pile in there, we will see the probe get the scout on both sides, will get fended away from Super, and Zaun will see what he wants to see. He sees the Robo Bay, he sees it go up, and he knows he's in a pretty good shape, because Stargate tends to have an advantage against the Robo. The Robo cannot produce units that can actually shoot up, nor can it produce units that have a high mobility to stop Phoenixes or Oracles. But the 2 Stalkers will go out to see what they can get done, but the Adepts will pass the Stalkers, which is exactly what Zaun wants. But he now needs to get some units up of his own, or else these 2 Stalkers can actually do a lot of damage. He can block them. He can block them out, admittedly. He can just wall off and force the Stalkers to take a while to actually get up the ramp. That's what he does. The probe will go down though. First Stalker goes down. It comes up for Zaun and he's actually taking a lot of damage on it. He's not paying attention to it as it does fall, but he's not paying attention to it because in the meantime, 4 probes do go down at the base of Super. So this natural is not going to go up for a while. Zaun needs to get more Stalkers, but in the meantime, he's done a lot of economic damage and hasn't actually lost any Adepts yet, which allows him to pin the Adepts, to pin the Stalkers back for Super. And overall, I'd say pretty even thus far, maybe a bit of an advantage for Zaun so far. He's got good damage done, but the next thing will be probably coming in with 2 Oracles, and that Immortal will avail him nothing when that happens.
Oh, there's still no probes there to block off at the ramp area
Yeah,
for Super.
He's building a prism though, so Super definitely wants to get aggressive on one base, try and take advantage of Zaun's lack of actual fighting units. The Adepts will come in, see the units here, and just be like, nope. But there will be 2 Oracles coming in just a moment. 2 Stalkers do come in now. They will get this pylon, maybe get a little bit of damage on the Oracle. Don't see it in time, but that will be the only 2 units this Stargate is going to make, unless he wants to actually fight the Stalkers with the Oracles, which he could do. 2 Oracles should be 2 Stalkers. But no, he has other ideas in mind, because if there's no Stalkers in the main, then where are they? Here we go! He's actually just revelating. I thought he could have got a lot of damage done right there.
Yeah, especially since no anti-air except
He does force in a warp in of Stalkers. But yeah, I would have liked to see him actually try and take that. But I guess the idea is if I just harass him with these Oracles, distract him from the front, but he has enough Stalkers to actually defend both fronts here. And Zaun is going to keep these 2 Oracles back below and basically say, you can never move out. And I think the main reason might be because he's been busy. He's been fighting against his Warp Prism back at home. So if Super's probes do go down though, as the Oracles do come in, man, there's just so much going on that it's hard to keep track. There is a Warp Prism of Super on across the map at Zaun's base. Probably going to warp in some units even. Warps in a couple of sentries. He's going to set up a contain on Zaun. Meanwhile, Super does expand. So Zaun needs to find an answer for this. But he already does have an answer for this. He's got a Warp Prism. I love that green barrier on the Immortal. That's so cool. And there will be a fight going on, but in the end, Super is actually winning this one slightly. But he does have but Zaun does have a shield battery to make sure that doesn't really matter a ton. And Zaun needs to secure his own base pretty quickly.
Just following up the Warp Prism is so funny. Oh man, it's like
Yeah,
follow
he's
the
just
leader.
following it with the Stalkers. And this Warp Prism is not able to get a lot done. But Super does have his expansion faster, ahead of Zaun. So overall, this game is going to normalize. Twilight Council and, weirdly, Stargate coming up from Super. I guess he wants to Stargate for a Phoenix to fend off the Warp Prism. which has become more popular recently. And the Immortal will take out this pylon since Oracles are known for many things, but killing Immortals is not one of them. And Blink starts for Super. So slight advantage for Super, but the game is far from over. Twilight Council starting for Zaun. It's a bit late compared to Super's. And Zaun is starting his own Immortal count as well. Meanwhile, going across the map with a patent 2 Immortal Warp Prism drop is Zaun, but there's so many Stalkers here that Super is not going to be able to get much done with it. Oh, this Warp Prism is a little exposed. But he does get it away. He just needs to make sure he's not around when Blink finishes. Because if he is, he's going to lose a lot of very expensive units.
Yeah, definitely don't want to lose Warp Prism and 2 Immortals there.
No, at this stage of the game, that could very well trigger a counter attack that could very well just kill you.
Alright, looks like both players are going to go for Blink here. It's going to be like a Blink war. You might actually see one of them actually add a Disruptor. A Robotic Spade as well. Oh, almost got that pylon there.
Yeah, I think he miscalculated the timing of the last shot just slightly. He could have gotten away with those, but was a bit cautious and did not end up getting that pylon. Not a big deal though, admittedly. Meanwhile, Stalkers are on the edge of the map on both sides at the mains to deflect any Warp Prism harass. But Super's Warp Prism is with his army as he's going out for a push as both players start their forge. Blink is done for Super, but is not yet done for Zaun. So there is a stasis ward here and a shield battery to help defend.
Yeah, I think I imagine that by the time the attack commences, his Blink should be almost done.
Here comes the attack, but here comes the Oracles as well. Zaun moving in. There are a couple of Stalkers, so the Oracles move back. Only one Stalker gets blocked by the stasis ward, and a bunch of force fields go down to block Zaun off with his own Nexus. 3 probes are going down, and this is a pretty strong attack from Super. Sentry does, well, nearly fall, and that shield battery doing an absolute hero's work at keeping that Sentry alive for a very long time. Force fields going down on both sides, trying to block off the enemy. The Natural is in serious jeopardy, though. It looks like it might actually go down, but now the Blink does finish just in time. He blinks on top of the Warp Prism, but he's going to lose all of his Stalkers in exchange. He's going to start sniping down the Sentries with the Oracles, but in the end, there are just too many Stalkers, but there are also so many Immortals for Zaun. If he kills this Immortal, oh my god, the Immortals survive. But in the end, it is, again, Zaun's Natural has been destroyed, so Zaun needs to counterattack now, but it's 33 army supply to 18, and half of that army for Zaun is in Immortals. This could be the chance for devastating counterattack, and the Warp Prism is still alive.
Yeah, this is the best chance for Zaun to get into this game. Zaun is a Super, on the other hand. He's throwing down a bunch of shield batteries, anticipating this. And the question is, will that be enough? I mean, 4 Immortals, though, that's quite a lot.
I mean, he pretty much has to. He goes for the Blink, but a Stalker dies pretty much immediately. If Super can take out this Warp Prism, that might be his best shot. But he has the 4 Immortals under it. Zaun knows if Super blinks in to try and snipe this Warp Prism, he's going to lose every Stalker he has, and so does Super. It is 4 shield batteries, a bunch of Zealots, 1 Immortal, a bunch of Stalkers from Zaun. This is the attack. Blink versus Blink, Immortal versus Immortal. Well, Immortal versus shield batteries, and shield batteries come off much worse in that contest.
Yeah, unfortunately.
Zaun sneaking his way in, and here comes the fight.
Oh, pros being pulled. The Blink Stalkers are getting on top of the Warp Prism.
Yeah.
Oh no, he's actually
kill one.
Focus firing.
They are trying to kill the Immortals, but the Immortals that are so strong, and there's just so many of them. It looks like Zaun may have the advantage, but he's starting to lose his Immortals. The Immortal from Super is nice and safe in the back. It is 1 Immortal to 1 now. There's a lot of probes lost for Zaun. He blinks on top of the Warp Prism. He does get it. He will lose the rest of his Stalkers in exchange, but the Immortal for Super is still alive, and he's going to lose a lot of probes in the end. But now Zaun has his second base up again. It's 51 supply to 40. 11 minutes into the game. But both players are still alive. This is one of the scrappiest PvPs I've seen in a while. I know I keep saying with these games, this is the most X I've seen in a while, but it really is. We have everything.
Yeah. I mean, both players are just scrapping here and there. I mean, so far in the game, who would you give the advantage to?
I think a slight advantage goes to Zaun right now. He's got these Blink Stalkers. He can use that to defend. He can use that to stop his opponent moving out, and that way he can take a third, which he's just started to do. So I would say overall Zaun has a slight advantage because Super can't really move out and punish this third base. He needs to take a third base of his own. Not to mention, Zaun has a probe lead, which actually does matter because Super is not quite fully saturated.
Yeah,
So I give a slight edge to Zaun right now.
yeah, I think I have to agree. I think Zaun has a slight edge. Although Super, he does have a +1 upgrade lead. Oh, actually, no, never mind. It looks like Zaun has finished researching +1. So yeah, it's definitely in favor of Zaun. He's adding more gateways. He's got the extra Nexus. I think he is looking. I mean, this is game to lose from here on out.
Now, one thing worth noting is that Super, throughout all of this, has managed to find the time to invest in charge. Zaun is still getting Stalkers because he's worried about attack, and he knows that at this very low numbers, the Stalkers are probably a bit better than charge lots. But once you have a decent number of charge lots, which Super is building, he's got 5 so far, he's going to warp in a few more, this could actually be a pretty difficult push to hold. Zaun is getting a Robo Bay for Disruptors, but that's not going to be done yet. And there's going to be a lot of charge lots here to attack these Blink Stalkers.
Yeah, but he does have some force fields. There's no Archons to break those force fields, so if he could get those...
Yes, this is true.
Yeah, if he can get those force fields, get those shield batteries up, buy some time for them to get up, he should be okay. But here we go.
He's working on it. Oh, he's going to actually snipe this Sentry. Very nice. He's out doing everything he can to stymie Super's advance.
Oh, this
It looks like Super's going to go for a flanking attack. He's coming in from both sides. The shield batteries are nearly done, but he needs to get good force fields, and he's not really able to because these charge lots are getting all on top of the Blink Stalkers, and there's so many Immortals for Super as well. The army supply is pretty much even. The shield batteries doing their absolute best. He needs to target down those Immortals, and Zaun is targeting down the Immortals one by one. It looks like he's actually defending against this. The shield batteries are all gone, but it's just too late, and GG is called. Zaun will barely scrape a victory in game number 1 after such a back-and-forth contest finally entered Zaun's fate.
What a crazy game 1 there that was. These games has been just spectacular. Jesus.
Oh yeah, these players are throwing everything they can at each other. It's clear that they're very evenly matched.
All right, looks like game.
We haven't really had any one-sided stomps thus far.
Yeah.
Maybe Australia vs. Bomber game 2, but game 1 more than made up for that.
Yeah, I mean the first 2 sets, even though they were 2-0, I mean they were very competitive games. It could have easily gone to the third game.
Exactly. It does not tell the full story, that 2-0. Yeah, they were very hard fought.
Alrighty, we got ourselves Everdream. I think this is the first time today we have played on Everdream, if I'm not mistaken.
Guys, I don't think I'm ready for this. I don't think I can face down. Please don't make me.
Oh man.
I'm just gonna, surrender gracefully.
Oh man, I'm disappointed. I want to see a fight.
Down's first 2 attempts would have killed both my probes and then my will to live, in that order.
You'd be like, good luck, have fun, and then just pull out the probes and do a probe rush.
That's probably my best chance of winning. Alright, let's try this again with a somewhat more suitable opponent for someone of Zaun's caliber. Zaun is going to pick on someone his own size. Alright, in the upper right, fresh off his game 1 victory over Super and his startlingly quick domination of Salamence, it is Zaun!
And spawning at the bottom left, we have our red Protoss looking to top the series, push it to our ace match or third match. Can he do it? It is Super. With a name like Super, it's kind of hard to to not pull out any puns, but I'm trying my best.
And we all appreciate your service. So we will again take a little bit of time to see what both these sides want to do, since neither of them are going for cannon rush or anything super cheeky. So we'll have to see where really when the cyber core goes down and if either side wants to go for a proxy.
Yeah. While we get into this game, as the game is progressing, I'd like to get your thoughts on like kind of the layout of this map. Have you played a lot on it, or?
I haven't played a lot on it, but it definitely looks like it reminds me a lot of Blackpink, except without the not quite as easy to get into that between that natural and that third, because you don't have that lower location. But I like how the third base is like a decent distance away from the natural, but it's also pretty easy to defend from frontal attacks. So I think getting a third base in PvP on this matchup in this matchup is going to be a bit less difficult than normal. But even so, we may not get to that point. Super is going for a proxy.
Oh yeah.
So we'll have to see what he's going to pull out for us.
I imagine it's going to be.
What do you think it's going to be? It's going to be taking all that.
Last game, there was a proxy Stargate. And
it's just a gateway.
Whoa.
Interesting.
Huh.
I wonder if he'll throw a tech building there, or if he's just going to go for a straight 3-gate.
Yeah. Might we even see a 4-gate? Bring it to the old school days.
It could be done.
Interesting. You usually see like a proxy Stargate, maybe a proxy Robo, but you don't usually see a proxy gateway. I think it's some of the disadvantages is that you can't, even if you got a closer gateway, you can't really go in because you got to wait for your the other gateway. But this is going to be actually no, this is the third gateway. Okay, so yeah, he's just going to go for a 3-gateway stalker pressure here.
Yeah, he doesn't have any tech buildings thus far. It looks like he just wants to overwhelm stalkers and deny potential for natural expansion. He's thrown 2 stalkers across the map already, building 3 more. Meanwhile, Zaun going for a Stargate, which is probably the worst. Well, not the worst. A Twilight Council would be the worst play you could have against this, because it would not do anything for a long time until the damage had already been done. But a Robo is definitely better against a Stalker-heavy opening.
Yeah, for sure.
Meanwhile, we will have 4 Stalkers in total out for Zaun, though, so that will be okay for him, but it will be 5 Stalkers for Super, which could be a pretty decisive advantage early on. And Zaun does see the Stalkers. He sees them kind of coming in. Did he actually see the... he did see the gateway, but he's going to lose a Stalker pretty much immediately. But he does trade 1 for 1, but there's a lot of health lost on that second Stalker to the point where it's just about useless. He's building shield batteries, 2 shield batteries, as well as a second pylon to defend them, and he will be trying to defend this ramp, getting some pot shots from the high grounds to try and fend off these superior numbers of Stalkers he's going to be up against, as Super takes his natural quite early on. So he's just going to use this as his way to secure this base and rely on that economic advantage to overcome the tech advantage that Zaun will have, as he is getting an Oracle, and he's going to send that across the map. Well, he's already sending 1 across the map, and there's nothing at home.
Oh no, is there a recall? No, there's no recall yet.
There's nothing at all, and there's going to be so many probes lost. What is Super going to do? He's moving these units away, but there's nowhere for them to run. The recall only just now comes in. 8 probes down, even 9, and is he going to get away? Yes, he does. 9 probes killed. He gets away. It is 2 bases to 1, but Super is definitely behind economically for the time being, as the Nexus now safely goes up for Zaun. Zaun will want to get a second round, ideally, from this, if he can, to try and, again, just keep the work account low, because Super will catch up on the work account very quickly, if he is allowed to, since it's 2 bases to 1. But the Stalkers are in both places overall for Super. And Zaun goes ahead and takes out that pylon, prevents more units from being warped in, and it means that Super will now be back to 2 gateways. Now, despite that, huge play from the Oracles, I think that, well, I guess Zaun is slightly ahead, because I think economically Super is still just a tiny bit ahead, maybe about even. But Zaun has a pretty decisive tech advantage right now. He's got those 2 Oracles. He can do a whole bunch of stuff with them, whereas the Immortals are only just now starting for Super, and it's his first non-gateway unit that he's able to make. So we don't have a Robo for Zaun yet. He is delaying that quite a bit. He's going for Blink and a Forge instead. The Oracle's going around, seeing what they can get done. Not really a lot, but there is a slight probe lead for Zaun, and now his second base is completed, so he's definitely come back pretty well, and he will snipe another probe. So yeah, pretty cool opening, all in all, and Zaun with a bit of the upper hand right now.
Yeah, he's getting his he's getting his blink. Gonna go ahead and snipe this hallucinated Phoenix. And yeah, both players are just go ahead and just macro up, producing those probes, getting into the latter stages of the game. And looks like we also have the Super here gonna go ahead and add some tech structures, as he is gonna probably get his either is his blink as well, or maybe go into charged lot. We'll see as soon as that Twilight Council is finished.
And finally, that gateway in the middle of the map does go down. The Oracle's continuing to see what they can, but there is an observer there to see exactly where they're going. There are Stalkers in position, so the Oracles are not going to get more damage done, but what they will do is continue to keep tabs on Super and see if Super ever tries to move out. And if so, they will punish that attempt, which allows Zaun to get his third base, which he's already got halfway.
All right,
Zaun playing with these Oracles quite well, and I know using his Blink Stalkers to try and get some harassment done as well.
Yeah, these Oracles doing some really great job setting up some stasis ward, although there's, funny enough, there's an observer right on top of it. But he's just keeping track, keeping Zaun, oh, not keeping Zaun, but keeping Super back at home, keeping his units at the mineral lines. And Zaun, he's just going to go ahead and just poke in here and there while he's establishing his third base.
Maybe a stasis ward on with the observer, and you think that's a bad thing, but let me ask you, is that observer moving? No. Checkmate. Dark Shrine now on the way for Super. Seeing no Robo units from Zaun just yet. Zaun is now getting a Robo, but is he going to get an Observer first, or is he going to go for Immortals? We'll have to find out. These Observers worth their weight in gold for Super as he sees what's going on. He has 2 Immortals, he has a shield battery. I think he's going to be just fine against any attack, but Zaun doesn't really want to attack. What he wants to do is he wants to deny a third base for as long as possible. In the meantime, Super has a lot of gates. He's getting a lot of Blink Stalkers, and he looks like he's going to want to attack Zaun once he has +1 and Blink and DTs. So we are likely to see a bit of an all-in from Super, I think.
Yeah,
Zaun's third is already finished. It's already saturated. Super has to get some damage done, and he has to get it done now.
Unfortunately for him, there's an observer coming out for Zaun, so he should be safe against the DTs. His Templar Archive is just finished, so if he can get some Archons up, I feel like he should be okay.
Yeah, and he's going to get that first Archon now. Stasis wards are going down. They will be spotted by the Observer, but they still have to make sure that they're triggered properly. As some Charge Lords begin to come in, they are going to start to get sniped because there is a lot of Blink Stalkers and Immortals here. This third base might actually just have to be given up.
Oh, but the Blink Stalkers across the map, ravaging the natural of Super.
Oh my goodness. And he recalls them after taking out like 13 workers. So he's going to, but he recalls them to the natural, not the third. And here comes the fight. The Charge Lords are all coming in, but they're all kind of concentrated in one spot. The Archons free them up, allow them to come in. The Oracle's coming in as well. A lot of these Blink Stalkers are still trapped under the Stasis Ward, and Zaun taking a pretty decisive victory in this fight, I think. It is mainly Stalkers against Stalkers now, but he blinks forward to chase them. He knows he's got this. Super is down 30 supply, and GG is called, and Zaun will take the series 2-0 and bring Alpha X up to match point. Another very interesting game all in all. Zaun showing his dominance in that game, but there was still a fair bit of back and forth. It just seemed Zaun got a bit of the upper hand every time that back and forth happened. It would swing back, but then it would swing forth, and it wouldn't swing quite as far as it used to. And then suddenly Zaun just grabbed his pendulum and said, "I have this now."
Yeah, and I also love in that final engagement, he once he recalled his Blink Stalkers and then he joined the fight, he actually blinked forward and sniped the War Prism of Super, and after that, I think that's pretty much sealed the game, definitely, because there was just no more Warpins, and that just Zaun was able to just pretty much clean up the rest of the whole army. And of course, he got all the probes at the natural of Super earlier on, so yeah, that was pretty much GG.
Absolutely, just very well played, very well executed overall.
Yeah. All right, guys. We're gonna get into our our next set, the fourth set. which will
It
be
may be the final set, but it very well might not be.
yeah against, from against from Justice Simon versus Terra. But before we get into that, let's do one last final shout outs to one of our sponsors, Devour. Devour Frozen Foods. They are basically, they make prepared meals that you can just throw into the microwave, heat it up, and you're good to go. So if you're like me and you don't know how to cook, or if you're tired from a long day and you don't want to, make a whole cook in the kitchen and cook a whole meal, you can get some Devour Frozen Foods, and there you have it. It's as easy. Just put it in the microwave and you're good to go. So yeah, check them out. Devour Frozen Foods.
Yeah, it's important to just eat one's own cooking. It's always good to have a couple of those meals just to fill in the gaps when you're out of food and don't really feel like cooking that particular day. I'm going to leave it until tomorrow.
All right.
All right. So Simon versus Terra, we'll be seeing another PvT. And this should be interesting. I haven't seen Terra play before.
Yeah, I actually haven't really. I mean, I feel like his name sounds familiar, but I haven't really seen him play before. I think maybe in the ATL or something. I'm not sure.
Well, we shall find out how he plays, and we'll see if he becomes more familiar, if you're able to remember him, as the game goes on. As we start on Nightshade LE. In the top left, representing Clan GP. If he does not win here, his clan will be eliminated. It is Terra.
And spawning at the bottom right, we have our blue Protoss representing Team Alpha X. It is Justice Simon. All right, interesting. We have already a
SC send out. We're gonna see the proxy 2-Rex. Here we go.
Starting off with a bang.
We certainly are. We'll have to see how Justice Simon goes. He is sending out a probe scout immediately, but it's not going to scout proxies. It's just going to scout the base as he sends out a gateway scout. But he should see that before his cybercore is done, and he will know exactly what this is, and immediately begin preparing. But this is a very decisive attack. It hits very, very quickly, and we will have to see if it is going to be enough.
Yeah, he's gonna have to make sure he micros his first couple of units correctly, because if you lose one unit one by one, it can definitely snowball with. Oh, actually, no, it's not even Reapers. It's just Mass Marines.
And he sees it. He was going to go down to build that to build the command center, the Nexus, but he doesn't. He's going to get a second gate. He's going to get a Zealot. He's going to prepare to defend. I wouldn't be surprised to see him throw down a shield battery pretty quickly. That's what I would like to see him do as well. And we're even going to see a third barracks coming up from Terra. So still no gas. So he's definitely about as all in as it gets with this. Going to make just a ton of Marines and try and overwhelm his opponent. I would definitely like to see. Oh, he can't build shield batteries till the cybercore is done, of course. So I'd like to see shield batteries from him when he can, but he will need to get a Stalker up. He's Chrono Boost that. He's getting a shield battery. He's getting it before Warp Gate, which is good because Warp Gate is going to take pretty much forever. Warp Gate is not going to be done to help with this attack. And Terra is definitely pooling up these Marines. And here we see the Marines now. This Zealot is going to die pretty much immediately.
Oh.
Does get a couple of swipes off.
Oh my, that SCV might. No, it's actually going for the bunker.
It's trying to body block. It's trying to body block the Zealot, but actually it slows down the bunker just a little bit. But it does the Zealot, and now the Stalker's going to start eating away at those Marines bit by bit, using its micro. Actually, the Stalker can probably hit this bunker and the SCV from the high ground if it tries.
Yeah.
Scan is needed for high ground vision, but he just backs away. So Justice Simon is defending against this very well so far. These Marines cannot heal. They're taking damage. Oh, but the bunker, it looks like it is going to go. It is going to get up. And Force Field shaves off a lot of this army. The shield battery does its work. And oh my goodness, just GG is called. Justice Simon proving an excellent defense from Cheese indeed. And it's just 3 minutes. Justice Simon brings Alpha X within one game of taking this series.
What a textbook defense there by Justice Simon. And he kept his calm. He kept his cool. And was able to get that money field, force field I really love that from Justice Simon, and that was
Oh yeah,
I think
beautifully done.
yeah, definitely. That was like the quickest game out of today.
And I do not imagine we're getting it any quicker. All right. So we'll have to see if Terra has something a little more standard up his sleeves that can take out Justice Simon, because his cheese definitely did not work.
Wouldn't it be crazy?
And even though
Wouldn't it be crazy if he just pulled out the same exact build, but like maybe 4 Rax Marines or something?
now let's make sure we get Justice Simon in good, because Justice Simon may have done pretty well against Terra, but I certainly do not think that I would be able to take on our Terran friend. Especially since I'm very out of practice.
I don't know. I'll be cheering for you. All right, here on Internal Empire once again, looks like to be one of the fan favorites.
Absolutely. Have we seen it in every series thus far, or just 3 of them? I don't know if we had it in the last series.
I think we've seen it like 2 other times or something.
Yeah. So this will be the 3rd time. All right, here we go. Justice Simon versus Terra. Game number 2. If Justice Simon wins this game, this will be the end of the series. If Terra needs to win the next 2 games in a row to force it to the ace match.
Yep, Alpha X has currently got themselves $60, and so far Team GP got themselves $30. Looks like Justice Simon possibly can claim victory for Alpha X, but here we go. Let's go ahead and introduce our players.
In the upper right, slapping down a cheese decisively. Now just 1 game away from victory. Can he bring it home on Eternal Empire? It is Justice Simon.
And spawning at the bottom left, it is the blue Terran player from Team GP. It is Terra.
So we're not going to see a very, very fast proxy from Terra, but he is going gas first. So we definitely still want to go for an aggressive opener. Not as exactly as super all in and fast as the previous one, but definitely going to be trying to put on the hurt early on is Terra.
Well, these guys' Rax positioned here on a little bit to the side, which of course will get that little space there to plot down either a reactor or a tech lab later on, and we'll see if Justice Simon, for me, sometimes you actually, can be a bit cheeky and just place a pylon there just to kind of infuriate the Terran player. We'll see if Justice Simon decides to go for that.
We shall indeed. It looks like no. He may try and come back in if a factory is made and try and block that off then, which is even nastier. But the Reaper does come down, so I think he's going to build a factory pretty quickly. But he might actually. It looks like Terra is going to try and take an expansion first. So gas first, but it's going to be off 2 bases. So nowhere near as aggressive an opening as we saw in game number 1, as both sides are opening relatively standardly.
Oh, this Reaper.
And here comes the factory.
Oh, there we go.
Probe will back away, try and hide from the Reaper that is going to be on the way.
Well, just playing hide and seek, He likes to hide a little bit, see if the Reaper can find him. Unfortunately, the Reaper will go across the map, actually he's making a proxy pylon here.
Ooh, that is interesting indeed. I wonder what he's going to put there. I think maybe DT, so I can't really think of what else you'd want to put in there to proxy at this point in the game.
Yeah, it's quite late for a Stargate or something like that, so I'm not...
Exactly. Well, I guess a proxy Stargate actually could work pretty well, off 2 bases. Is that close to natural? I think they might actually be it. Yeah, there he goes.
Oh, wow.
Just going to go for the fast Oracle play off 2 bases.
Do you think... considering that this Stargate is a bit late, tad late, do you think this is going to be something like a proxy Tempest play or something like that?
It could be. Though I think we're definitely at least going to see an Oracle first, even if he does decide to do that, because there's no reason not to get an Oracle when you're at that distance, you're that close. You have the opportunity to make it. It's such a powerful unit in the first place. But yeah, Justice Simon very well could do that. Maybe he's like, alright, you decide to be sneaky on me. You decide to be tricky. Let me show you how it's done.
Yeah. And it looks like the Reaper just barely missed the Stargate, so This might actually catch a Terran off guard, or Terra off guard. And it looks like, yep,
Yeah.
Oracle.
Cloak on the way. It looks like we may see, we are going to see Hellion Banshee, just like Bomber. I guess Bomber and Terra are on the same team. Terra's probably learning a lot from Bomber. So it would make sense that Terra would take on Bomber's build. We'll have to see if Australia has learned, if Australia has taught Justice Simon. And if Justice Simon is able to prove victorious. 3 Adepts coming across the map and actually see these Hellions as they try and come in. So that's a very big victory for Justice Simon already. And here comes the Oracle, and there is nothing here to stop it. No Marines, no Cyclones, no turrets, no nothing. Just a whole lot of pain.
Oh, wow. And all the SCVs got to be evacuated into the main base.
Yep. 4 Oracles done, and an entire base denied. But the probes and the Hellions and the Reaper do get in, and they take out 3 probes. They're going to continue to try and take out more. So there's definitely a lot of carnage on both sides happening here as the Oracle runs out of energy for Justice Simon on the other side of the map. 8 probes down. But here comes the second Oracle. And there is a few Marines now to defend, but an Oracle can just gun down those Marines instantly and then continue to fight. And it does. It takes out both Marines. It starts taking out these wounded SCVs. And all of a sudden, the damage is looking even worse. But actually, yeah, now with these 2 Marines extra, this will be thrown back. And the game, I think, is somewhat even. Both sides have gotten pretty similar damage done. Though the crucial thing is, Terra has lost the units that he used to do that. Justice Simon has not. However, a Banshee is just about to be done. But I think Cloak was cancelled, actually. For Terra.
No. Research is attacking at the natural here.
Oh, yes, you're right. There you go. And 3 probes down. He recalls the Oracles. He has 3 of them in total. And he actually, that is very smart of him. I like that he didn't revelate the Banshee. He just allowed it to run because of the threat. But if he'd revelated it, he never would have killed it. He just would have wasted the revelation. So instead, he just lets the Banshee go. Nicely done.
Yeah.
And he is getting Phoenix now. So that if he revelates a Banshee, that Banshee is dead. If he revelates it on the other side of the map. As both sides take their 3rd base.
So all in all, 11 probes killed for Terra, while there was a 9 for Justice Simon here. So a little bit in favor of Terra, but with the quicker, I guess, 3rd base. I mean, it's not too big of a deficit. It's only 2 worker difference, so not too shabby. All right, so Blink will be Justice Simon's tech of choice here. Wonder if he's going to go for the same kind of mass gateway swarm toss that Australia went for, or if he decides to go for it, maybe add in some like Colossus or something like that.
I don't think he will. He's only going for 1 Forge, so I think he will try and add something in. 3 Oracles, get an SCV, maybe get a couple of them. They're actually chasing down this Cyclone. The Phoenix is just going to lift off the Cyclone and keep it back. The Phoenix will die, but in the meantime, the Oracles are taking out so many SCVs. 10 SCVs taken out for a Phoenix. That's an amazing deal, and the 3rd hasn't even found a land. Oh, but a good scan takes out one of those Oracles, but still overall a pretty good trade for Justice Simon, I'd say. He had 3 Oracles. The 3rd one was only really good for harass. 2 Oracles is plenty for utility purposes, so he doesn't really need that 3rd Oracle later in the game. So I would still take that trade as Justice Simon.
He's coming back for more.
Yes, he is. He's going to take out yet more SCVs. Taking out 4 in total. He's going to lose another Oracle, though, and now losing those Oracles is actually starting to begin to hurt. He would have liked to have that 2nd Oracle for utility purposes later on in the game. And he actually almost loses the last Oracle, and that would be pretty bad. But he's killed like 15 workers with them, so Justice Simon now puts himself into a pretty strong economic lead.
Yeah, I heard
The Banshees are going to see what they can do with revenge, though.
Yeah, meanwhile, Justice Simon, he's got his Blink research. Did he get charged? No, not charged yet. Okay, he's just finished. Oh, he just started researching charge. Got his gateways running. Yeah, looks like Justice Simon is looking to be in a great position as Terra is trying to go ahead and try to crawl back into the worker. Oh, he's not that far behind. I mean, it's 58 workers to 49, so not too bad.
But one of these Banshees is dead, and the other is very low, and they didn't really do really any economic damage. So excellent play from Justice Simon with a strong defense, and takes out the 2nd Banshee as well. So now Justice Simon does not have to worry about harassment from the Banshees, only really from Medivacs. He's up 30 supply, He's got his third base established, and he's getting fourth. I think Justice Simon is in a very strong position.
All right, looks like War Prison will be added to the Protoss army. I would love to see him go ahead and try to harass with this War Prison, do it like a double prong attack. There's no Vikings out to deny this. There are Cyclones at the natural, but if he can go ahead and drop maybe into the main base or something like that while attacking the third, that could spell disastrous for Terra. And the one thing that I do love about, look at Justice Simon's vision. Just look at just his vision alone. He's got the whole map all covered from all sides, and I love that. While Terra, he's yet to even get the watchtower on his own side.
Yeah, like you said, Justice Simon has a lot of map control right now, and he's using it to the fullest. He's revelating parts of the army of Terra so that Terra can't move out. He's even still got that Stargate if you want to do something tricky with it. And he's getting Storm, he's getting +2. Justice Simon feels quite confident in getting up to the tech he wants, which in this case is going to be Side Storm, as the AoE that he needs to continue scaling into this game. So Terra will need to get Ghosts in order to compensate. He's throwing down a couple more gates, more Raptors, but he's not going for his Ghosts just yet, and we already have 4 High Templar in the War Prison. And as Storm completes, this could be the opportunity for a strong attack from Justice Simon, and that looks like exactly what he's going to do.
Yep, he is moving out, and the storm is just about done. I think by the time he arrives there, his storm will be done.
The Cyclone does take out the Opal though before it gets a Revelate off, so that's pretty nice for him. He sees the War Prison, but he doesn't actually see the High Templar, so he might not actually know of this threat. And if that's the case, these storms could catch him very much by surprise.
All right, goes to
but he's actually making him into... Oh no, he's making some Archons. But he's keeping the 4 High Templar in the prison. So he's going to have Archons, and he is going to have Storm as well. So this could be a very nasty attack.
Alright, looks like he's going to elect to go around and go for the other side, as that has more surface area. Don't want to go up a ramp, which is pretty smart of him.
Yep, and Justice Simon is nearly maxed. He's going to go for it. There's not a lot of places for this Terran army to run. I mean, it can kite backwards, but it's kiting to the third base. Here we go. The War Prism is going to come in. There's a good arc from from Terra, but there's just so many units. And here comes the Storms, and they're doing some very brutal damage on these clumps of Terran units. Terran is forced to back away. Justice Simon is up 35 supply. He's attacking on all fronts, and he's crushing through this army. He's warping in another wave of charge. Also, I think that might just be all she wrote. GG is called when Justice Simon takes it 2-0 and wins the series 3-1 for Alpha X.
And there we have it. Congratulations to Alpha X for winning that for winning 3-1 in this best of 5. That of course gets another $30 for Team Alpha X. But we interesting enough, we had all 2 O's in all our sets, but I gotta say all these games has been pretty dope.
Absolutely. There have been some amazing series, some amazing games here so far. I especially love to swear versus Bomber Game 1. That was an absolute nail-biter. And Breaking GG versus Dogo Joey Game 2, just for the sheer mind-melting nature of that Spore-Crawler 12-pool opening that we saw, which was just a moment of beauty. I was very glad to cast this series.
Absolutely, same here. By the way, guys, one last reminder, there is a Matcherino page set up here. Actually, 2 Matcherino pages, as our lovely Sushi has typed into the Twitch chat the link there, as well as the coupon code. Just head on over there, and you can donate 50 cents for free, absolutely free, with those coupon codes. And if you want to elect to do so, you can also go ahead and do the sponsor quest to add to the additional funds to the prize pool. And if you like, you can get yourself some Alpha X swag as well if you decide to do so. But anyhow, thank you all for tuning in. Thank you all for typing into the Twitch chat, cheering on the players. Any last words, Salavant, before we wrap this up?
Thank you everyone for tuning in, and we have plenty more events coming on. We are still bringing them to you despite COVID-19. In fact, we've had such a demand for these events that we've been running a lot of them recently. We have our Alpha X Pro series, we have our various team leagues, and you can even check out Alpha X in the China Team Championship as Breaking GG Australia and Sound take on some of the best players the world has to offer.
Yeah, definitely. All right. So hope you guys stay safe, and until next time, this is your friendly neighborhood. Actually, you know what? This is your friendly neighborhood casting duo signing out.
Nuclear missile ready.